The video from inside Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, the day of the massacre, is now public. Every few seconds, as it begins to unfold, you hear a flood of gunfire, and then you see a little box pop up in the corner. It says, "Editor's note, the sound of children screaming has been removed." The video obtained by the Austin American-Statesman and KVUE accounts for all 77 minutes and the lead up. It shows police entering the building a few minutes in saying shots fired. And the next time the shots ring out, they run in the opposite direction, whispering among themselves, standing behind their shields and their giant guns for an hour plus. It is hard to watch, but families there, they have demanded this be shared with them, with the public. And the state committee was planning to do just that on Sunday, but now it's out. Newsy national correspondent Addie Guajardo is on the ground tonight in Uvalde again and joins us live with the video, which again, we want to warn you, it's disturbing, but it is absolutely necessary to share with you tonight. Addie, this is awful.
It truly is chilling, Chance. There is a city council meeting happening right now where residents are speaking out. Some of them expressing their disappointment in that video as they saw officers stand in that hallway inside the school more than 70 minutes. I just spoke to two residents, one of them in tears tonight, saying she does not regret calling those officers inside that school cowards. Now, the Austin American-Statesman and KVUE released two videos today, a full version and a 4-minute edited version that shows body camera and surveillance cameras from inside that school. Now, the video begins with two civilians running away as the gunman shoots at him and then goes into the school without any obstacles. Now, we do want to warn you, this video is disturbing and you will hear gunshots. For the first time, we're getting a detailed look at what happened outside classrooms 111 and 112, where 19 students and 2 of their teachers were murdered 7 weeks ago. A warning, it is difficult and disturbing to watch. Surveillance video obtained by the Austin American-Statesman and KVUE begins by showing the gunman crash his grandparents' truck outside Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. He fires shots at 2 civilians who respond to the scene. The video then shows the gunman entering the school, calmly walking the halls, even flicking his hair as he turns the corner. He targets classroom 111. Within seconds, rapid gunfire. Within minutes, the initial wave of police officers arrive. They stay in the hallway. The video shows the moment the gunman fires at 2 police officers attempting to breach the classroom door. That's 4 minutes after he entered the school. But for the next 70 minutes, no officer attempts to enter the room. After more than 50 minutes, a team moves up the hallway. Moments later, behind them, an officer calmly walks over to a hand sanitizing station and cleans his hands. Officers still haven't breached the classroom. Finally, at 12:50, officers move in. More rapid gunfire. The gunman is dead. This is an edited excerpt of the surveillance video. Families of the victims will see the entire 77-minute video on Sunday. The chairman of the Special House Committee says the public will see it soon after. This comes after weeks of calls from the public, the families of the victims, and the Uvalde community as a whole, calling for more transparency and to make evidence public.
Everyone knows 100% of the facts. I'm on the side of full disclosure of all the information.
Now, the Texas Department of Public Safety director released a statement saying, quote, he is deeply disappointed in the video being released before the families had an opportunity to review it. And tonight, the mayor of Uvalde, Don McLaughlin, saying that this investigation into the mass shooting was the most unprofessional investigation he has ever seen, adding that the video part went to hell, but he says these families will still get the full investigation. And at the city council meeting, we just learned P. Arredondo's resignation from the city council has been accepted. Chance?
And I saw some people there at the city council meeting say, don't be upset that the video was leaked, be upset at the officers. I know you're following that inside tonight. Addie Guajardo live in Uvalde, thank you. So let's go deeper. Newsy's John Moan has been following this investigation from day one from the ground. John, it doesn't look like the officers here are preparing to really do anything, much less go into this classroom. They appear to be hiding, waiting for the gunman to maybe attack them. Are police saying anything?
Yeah, so I called the various agencies involved in this response, from Uvalde PD, Uvalde County Sheriff's, Border Patrol. The only agency I've heard back from with a written statement is the Department of Public Safety. And let's go ahead and get that written statement up on the full screen. That's from Colonel Steve McCraw, the director of the Texas Department of Public Safety, saying tonight of the release of this video, quote, "I am deeply disappointed this video was released before all the families were impacted that day and the community of Uvalde had the opportunity to view it. This video provides horrifying evidence that the law enforcement response to the attack at Robb Elementary on May 24th was an abject failure in law enforcement. When one officer fails, we all fail." That being said, also the co-chairs of a bipartisan committee overseeing the closed-door investigation at the State House level, both tweeting out tonight that they are aware that this has been released and characterizing the release of the information piecemeal, and that they are eager to speak with the family so they can give them the full written report as well as see the whole videotape so they can give them a better explanation of the situation.
I see. That was interesting that he said when one officer fails, we all fail, because that's a change of tone. Before it was they failed, they dropped the ball. That was the main message before. So, you know, a lot of our thoughts go back to that day, John, May 24th. The families outside desperately trying to get in for an hour saying, "I will give my life. I want my child to be okay." And they were reassured, no, police are in there. They're on it. They're working. Does that story match up with the video we now see?
I mean, it doesn't gel. And I think you have to also probably go into the situation of communications not being ideal that day, and the DPS certainly testifying to that fact before a Senate committee, the Texas State House, earlier in June. So the officers outside clearly telling the family members this were not informed of the situation going on in a clear and coherent manner. And then when you watch the videotape, with, you know, what was initially released today was an edited version for brevity, but when you are able to watch the entire thing in context, you see large periods of inaction, and that certainly goes to some of the narrative that had spilled out earlier, and also some of the, you know, goes to speak to some of the anxieties of the family members outside and of the family members who have learned all of this information through reporting in the news media.
Speaking of that, there's been a ton of finger pointing among law enforcement and anybody who's in an official position, who's to blame. Does this clarify any of that?
I mean, again, until we have a coherent conclusion from an investigative body, I feel like, I mean, it clearly is something that is muddying the waters. At that city council hearing tonight, the mayor was upset by the release of this video, expressing his displeasure with this being unearthed earlier than Sunday when it was planned, saying, quote, "The way the video was released was one of the most chicken things I've ever seen." That being said, a resident said and questioned right after he made that remark, asking him, "And don't you think the police are chicken?" So if anything, this is going to arouse more anxiety and more questions in the community of Uvalde.
I see, yeah. The mayor saying this was released too soon before Sunday. A lot of people said this should have been released 6.5 weeks ago. John Moan from the ground in Texas, I know you're on it. Appreciate it.